All right, man, we back. Goodfellas Sports TV, and Anthony Davis again carries GOAT James. Yesterday versus Utah, they beat Utah and they clinched the #1 seed. So, like I said before, I think the Lakers are one of the more vulnerable teams. I think every team is vulnerable to getting upset this year. But let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video, and also talk about Donovan Mitchell as well. I don't see him really staying in Utah. I don't think. If they couldn't keep a good old American white boy Gordon Hayward there, they're not going to keep Donovan Mitchell there. But we'll talk about that towards the end of the video. But yesterday, Anthony Davis went off against, a former Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert, if my memory serves me correctly. And he showed the repertoire, step back threes. I like to see him play from the post a lot more, but I don't think he's physically strong enough to dominate in the post right now. But basically, LeBron is riding his coattails, and LeBron is still making plays, just enough plays to complement Anthony Davis. And if are the Lakers becoming Anthony Davis team before our eyes? And I think it's a little bit premature, at least on a lot of people's schedule. People thought LeBron would still play good until 36, 37, but he is 35 years old, and 35 or 35. You know what I'm saying? You ever tried to reboot an older computer? It don't reboot as fast as when it was fresh. It got all these files and all these catch files in there and stuff of that nature. The gigabytes are used up, and it just don't reboot. And what y'all got to understand is LeBron took a time period off. It's harder to reboot that older computer system. It's harder to reboot that older body. So it's at the point where, LeBron James may have to play himself back into a rhythm, back into a shape, and, it just seems like he's playing in spots. And it's a lot of dudes that don't have a rhythm. The Memphis Grizzlies don't have a rhythm at all, and they younger guys. It's hard to kind of gauge Denver because they don't have a few of their guys there: Barton, Harris, Jamal Murray. But it's hard to kind of catch that rhythm for certain guys. So you can't really say, oh, the Clippers or the Lakers are a finished product. This is a new season. So a lot of these dudes got to play themselves in shape, find their rhythm. But if LeBron and guys like Zion is tired and they injured already, or they not at full strength in the beginning after, half of March off, April, May, and June off, and they already injured, they already kind of sluggish, I don't think you're going to get healthier in this bubble. I think you can find a rhythm in this bubble, but I don't believe you're going to get more healthier in this bubble. But, last night AD was phenomenal. He had a bad game versus Toronto. Toronto is a bad matchup for Anthony Davis and for LeBron James. Now, they got a lot of length at the bucket. I mean, you talking about Hollis Jefferson, you talk about Serge Ibaka, you talk about Marcus Gasol, Siakam got length. The only place they're really short at is in the backcourt, but then they could bring in Norman Powell in, OG Aguayi in. So they got a lot of length. You're not just going to go out there and put 40 and 20 on Toronto. All right, that ain't going to happen. This ain't, only person that probably could do that is Joel Embiid, currently. But last night, he kind of had a shaky start, but he finished off strong in the win over San Antonio. But, let's not judge LeBron at this point. Now, do they need to shut LeBron down and give him a rest? Yeah. Let him rest. He was listed on the injury report before the first game with the Clippers with a groin injury. It's time to kind of give him a rest, stretch him out. Kind of keep him in rhythm, keep him in shape. But I think he need a rest. They clinched the #1 seed. And I understand for TV rating purposes that, he need to be out there. But honestly, I probably would rest him. What, they got 5 more games left? I would rest him in the next 5 games, personally. What? I might play him the last game or the second before last game so he can have somewhat of a rhythm coming into the playoffs. But, yeah, I would, and I think they doing scrimmages as well, too, in practice. Or maybe that was just before the season. I was, they was doing kind of, I thought he was doing some, where they could practice against other squads. Maybe that was the actual scrimmage, excuse me. But, I would rest him at this point. I would shut him down. I would play him the second game, the second to last game. I think I got 5 games left. I'll play him that game, or I'll play him lightly in the last game, and that'll be it. So he can have somewhat of rhythm. As far as AD, or maybe you could do it this way. AD play the next game, LeBron don't play. Then LeBron play, AD don't play. You could do it that way for TV ratings wise, but I would probably rest AD the last 2 games. I would rest LeBron at least 4 the next 5, and we'd go in there and we'd see what Kuzma can give us. We'll see what Whit Waiters can give us. J.R. Smith can give us, kind of get them into a rhythm, and that's kind of how I would pretty much rock out with it. All right, that's what I would do. LeBron got gray hair. He look old. He not moving as fast as he used to. But then again, you got people that's saying, oh, he getting old or this, that, and the third, whatever rumors you want to hear about LeBron, which I'm not going to even put that on his name as a black man. I'm not doing that. But, he 35. What the fuck you expect? He been playing 82 game seasons since he was 19 years old. He's 35. At some point, Kobe had to get old. Jordan started to get old, and we would have seen him get run over by the Spurs or by the Lakers if it wasn't for Jerry Krause. At some point, Shaquille O'Neal got old. At some point, Kareem got old. At some point, it got to come to an end. At some point, you got to see the decline. No matter how good of you take care of the body, you can prolong the inevitable. He has done that. But if this is we seeing the true decline of LeBron last year with a groin injury, this year he got a sore groin. If we seeing the decline of LeBron, this is now becoming the Anthony Davis team. Now you just can't get a team to Anthony Davis off of 3 fucking regular season performances and one which was bad versus Toronto Raptors. You can't give him the team. The Anthony Davis has to earn the team in playoff time. You can say, oh, LeBron getting carried through 8 regular season games. That's cool. LeBron been carrying fools for what? 10, 15, 20 seasons? He been carrying guys. And the most important part of that is carrying them through the playoffs. All right, that's the most important part. If this is truly going to become Anthony Davis' team, it's going to be proven in the playoff. If Anthony Davis go out there, he have a hell of a playoff run, LeBron kind of break down, they lose in the conference finals, he give a valiant effort and he put up great numbers and he put the team on his back and kind of Bron just old and kind of injured, it's his team. If he carried them to the playoffs and he lead them and LeBron just do enough, it's AD team. It just can't be AD team because what he doing in 8 regular season games or what he doing in 82 regular season games. Plus, he got durability issues and all that shit, but let's just say the 82 games, right? It can't become his squad in a fraction of a time. It's time to prove that it got to be your squad. You played at an MVP caliber season, Anthony Davis. Now, when the playoffs start, that's when it's going to be proven it's the Anthony Davis team. When Anthony Davis is able to take over a playoff game, a couple playoff games, over a series, Kobe done it, Shaq done it, Michael done it, LeBron has done it. You know what I'm saying? Isaiah Thomas has done it. Kareem has done it. Magic has done it. Bird has done it. The true sign of him is going to be taking over playoff games, playoff series, and putting the team on his back. So, no, it's not Anthony Davis' team yet. This is his time to say, this is my team. Or if LeBron said, you know what, I'm old, it's time to hang it up. We got to get somebody else in here. Anthony Davis has to prove that he can carry this franchise, and that's the God honest truth on that one. But, for LeBron, let's kind of give him the benefit of the doubt right now. It's harder to restart that body and get in the game shape. I know they've been practicing. Let's let his groin heal up. He got 5 more days to get healed up. So I look forward to him being ready for the playoff run. But right now, Anthony Davis is leading the charge, and I don't think nobody can dispute that. People saying LeBron the MVP voting was tallied up before. It was tallied up before the regular restart season started, so they already know the MVP is. But Anthony Davis is up there. If you didn't hear who I think the MVP was a couple weeks ago, 5 for me. I can't remember who 5 was, but I had Anthony Davis at 3, LeBron at 2, Giannis at 1, James Harden at 5, and I had Chris Paul at 4, I believe it was. So those are my 5 for the MVP, if my memory serves me correctly. So, we'll see what they can do. But Anthony Davis it's time to prove it in the playoffs. Ain't nobody got the glory and the power or became king of the league based off what they done in the regular season. They tried to do it with Jordan, but Jordan had to get over that hump. And once he get over that hump, and Anthony Davis was able to carry them in the playoffs, the Lakers is his and possibly the league. You can see MVP AD next year, because you see kind of when players get over that hump. And his monkey on his back is the playoffs. If he able to get over the playoff hump next year, Anthony Davis probably going to be MVP. But if LeBron's still playing at a good level, they're going to take away from his greatness. And it's sad but true. They're always going to be, well, it's LeBron. That's how people said when Wade won his championship with Shaq. Shaq was a fucking decoy. He got old overnight. But hey, that is what it is. But let's talk a little bit about Donovan Mitchell. I mean, I said this before I even heard this morning by Jalen Rose. He said it last night where he said that he don't think Donovan Mitchell going to stay with Utah. And I don't think neither. They couldn't even keep good old American white boy Gordon Hayward there. He left. So I don't foresee them. I don't foresee Donovan Mitchell staying there. He got a severed relationship with Rudy Gobert. You know what I'm saying? Karl Malone did stay in Utah for some years, and you know what I'm saying? I just don't think Donovan Mitchell gonna stay there. I wouldn't stay there. You're not gonna win in Utah. I just don't think the demographical background for him staying in Utah is somewhere he want to be. I'm not trying to speak for him. I think he's gonna move on and go somewhere else. And I think that a couple more years, I think he had one more year, whatever it is. I mean, who knows where he can end up at? He can end up with LA with Anthony Davis. LeBron leave a couple years, retire, or they able to add Donovan Mitchell. I mean, he can end up in New York. You can end up anywhere. You know what I'm saying? But I don't really think Donovan Mitchell has a future with the Utah Jazz. They couldn't retain Gordon Hayward. That shocked me. Because Gordon Hayward seemed like the perfect Jazz player like John Stockton. He got out there and went to Boston. Now, Boston ain't the blackest city in the world, right? You know what I'm saying? So he went to another version of Utah. They got more black people in Boston than Utah, I believe. But I don't see Donovan Mitchell finishing with Utah. I wouldn't stay in Utah. I would move on. I mean, shit, he can team up with Trae Young. I mean, he could team up, with anybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure exactly where he's from, but we'll see what his future holds. But I don't believe Jalen. I believe Jalen Rose. I think Donovan Mitchell will move on, in my opinion. So let me know what you guys think about AD, Donovan Mitchell, LeBron, everything we talked about. We'll talk about the NBA again tonight or tomorrow morning when I kind of watch what goes on tonight. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you got business, question, inquiry, sponsorship, video requests. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation to the channel? Cash App, PayPal in the description. But don't forget tonight, 9 p.m. I'm not sure what channel. Maybe TNT tonight. Portland takes on the Houston Rockets, so that should be a barn burner. So I'm definitely gonna cover that game in the morning. So one time for the one time. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. Don't forget to check out our NBA Talk playlist. One time for the one time. We gone.